Hey, what's up? What's going on, my peeps, my peoples? Let's talk about the challenge Dirty 30 finale, part 1, season 30, episode 18. I'm not all that too happy because I'm not happy about who came in third place, and my prediction did not come right. um, so we start off with Miz. He used to be on the Real World. He's a WWE second time superstar, and he's also won the challenge, twice. So he is hosting the slash reunion show, kind of to me, but I guess we gotta have part two. So they're getting like all the other reality TV shows where they milk it to the end. So it was just crazy. I like the way, the reunion was set up. I like how it was more glamorous. I like the lights. Miz, he was really a good host. He asked the right question. He knows how to be entertaining. He knows how to put that oomph into it. I was like, uh-oh. We got TJ. TJ was there. He entered the stage. So happy to see TJ there. But he's not hosting the whole entire show. But he's putting the mic up to people's mouth because MTV is going to be shady with the challengers of season 30. So they're going to be bringing back people that are their past, probably their relationship. We're probably going to see Tony's baby's mother. We might even see Jordan's baby mother. I mean, Jordan's girlfriend that he broke up with. So it seems like they're going to be bringing people back from their past to actually comment on their behaviors on the challenge. So it seems like it's going to be real lit. It was, I just really wanted to get to who was going to win, but we didn't get there. We didn't get to the number one, the runners up. So it sucks that we didn't get there. So they just start talking about, different things. They talk about Cory and, him putting himself as a target. And Cory was just like, yo, I picked Darrell because Darrell is a good competitor and I wanted him to take him out. And it was my chance to make a big move and take out a big competitor. So he picked Darrell. And, I was never happy about Cory picking Darrell. I ranted and ranted on that because I really like Darrell. And Darrell was like, I'm not going to take it personal, but you know what? When I come back, I'm gonna go for Cory. I'm gonna go for his curly hair ass or whatever. So I was like, oh, Darrell. And so then they talk about Darrell and Tony's situation, and it was like, oh my God, Tony, you took out Darrell. Like, Darrell, did you think that it was gonna be easy when you was up there, wrestling with, Tony on that little plank over the water? And he was like, no, it was kind of difficult. It wasn't easy. And then Tony was like, I just got lucky. Everyone said I got lucky, but um it was wonderful going against Derrick. I was surprised I won. I did win. And it was like, so then Miz asked Darrell, do you think that, Tony got lucky? He was like, nah, he won fair and square. And that's what I like about Darrell. He owns it. He gives people their props when they deserve their props. Like, he's respectful, like he's a good guy, like he's not shady, and he doesn't take things personal. But I took it personal for him when Cory put him up there. I was just like, oh my goodness. But I just knew Darrell was going to be Tony, but he didn't. Tony did a lot. Tony lasted for a while and he didn't make it to the end, but just the way how Darrell was, his personality, how he acts, how he congratulated Tony, and how he was respectful to Cory as well. He wasn't like, bent out of shape or feeling like he deserved to be there or whatever. He was just like, I just lost. And a lot of people were saying that they feel like a lot of seasoned vets got robbed this season. So, and then Johnny Bananas was just like, it was hard this season. You know what I mean? Like, the challenges were hard, but going against the contestants wasn't hard, because Miz was just like, so who do you think? So what do you think? Do you think, the cast members that you had, the contestants with you, were they really tough and difficult? He was like, no, it was just the challenges was difficult, because you think that you send somebody home 3 weeks later or a week later, they're coming back, and it's like you can't get rid of anybody. And so yeah, that was one big twist where, you had the Redemption House and people came back. And they also, talked to Jordan, and Jordan was like, why did you target, why did you target, Hunter and everything? And he was like, it was just too easy. It was just too easy. It was like, once you say a guy's name, you continue to say his name. You don't stop. you don't just forget about him. You just continue it. It's so easy. And so then Hunter jumps in, was like, well, I feel like, he targeted me because I was really a good player, I was really a good contestant. I was really a contender. And Jordan was like, no, you wasn't. Like, come on. Like, he's not a winner. I was like, Jordan. So it seems like Jordan's going to carry on this animosity he has with Hunter for a long time. Or maybe they might actually be friends because, Jordan had this animosity with, Bananas for a long time, and then they end up becoming friends. So we'll see what happens in that situation and see if they ever become friends, or they're always going to be contending against each other. And we don't know how long Bananas is going to participate in these challenges, because it seemed like he really didn't do that well, especially when he went up against Derrick. It would seem like it was really difficult for him. And I wouldn't even try it because it would be too difficult for me. So I ain't even gonna front like I'm an athlete like that. And, then they talked to, Cory. Cory was like, I just came after, I put the target on my back, and, I took out Darrell, and then I said, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you next. Because, Miz was like, so do you think it was use guys, or use three against all the other guys? And Cory was like, pretty much. But Cory was like, but I did do this. I did Cinderella in, and then on top of that I said I was going to come after this person, that person, and that person. And so he was like, yeah, I did put the target on my back. Yeah, I did kind of start the trouble. And that's what Banana said. So you did start the trouble, Cory. Cory was like, yeah. But then Bananas, in the same breath, he was just like, yo, I respect Cory for that, because you don't really find rookies or newbies to do things like that. Like, they won't come after, the vets. Like, they won't make big moves. They'll be scared. And that was the whole thing. Hunter was trying to say, make big moves, go after the vets. I think it was Hunter, or was it Nelson? I think it was Nelson. I think it was Hunter was saying, let's go after the vets. Like, he wasn't scared. At one point, he was like, they're going to put us up anyway, so let's just get them. And I think Nelson had a chance to throw Bananas in, and he didn't, when Hunter thought that he was going to throw him in. And so then they get to the incident with Nelson, and Derrick and Hunter or whatever. And so basically, Miz goes from, Nelson, you send, Tony in for being drunk one night and put him up for elimination, whatever, put him in the round or whatever. But then the next night you go out, you get belligerent, drunk, and then you end up getting into a fight and then getting sent home. And he was like, yeah, I messed up or whatever. And he was like, yeah, that was totally my fault. I messed up. He was like, I just knew it. He was like, when after this shit happened, I just laid on my bunk bed. I was like, bunk bed. He was like, I just laid on my bunk bed, and I just knew I was going home, and I was so sorry. I knew I made a mistake. And then that's when Hunter was like, I shouldn't have egged him on. I shouldn't have round him up or help him get riled up or whatever. And Hunter was like, so it's part of my fault too as well, because I know how Nelson gets when he drinks that, And then I riled him up that he was probably going to get out of hand or whatever. So, I take part in that too as well. Hunter, F you, because you know what? You just going back and watching the footage again, you just sat there when they were pushing each other, when Nelson pushed, Derrick, you were just sitting there on the wall and you didn't move, you didn't do anything. And then when Jimmy and Carmilla tried to break up the situation, then even Cara, she came out to try to break up the situation, and you just sit there and you even moved out the way. Then that's when Nelson punched, Derrick. So it just seems like you wanted Nelson to go home. And why didn't you help him? Like, if that was your boy, that's your brother. Like, why would you just sit there knowing you had a part of the situation? And then you had a smirk on your face. And that was in my video when the fight actually happened. I caught your face, how conniving and evil you looked. But you know what? Nelson has to own up to it, because Nelson can't think anybody has his back like that. You can't assume that this person got your back, especially when money's on the line and you're here for a challenge and you're on TV. People want to see shit go on. And then you can't trust everybody. You got to trust yourself and have self-control where you can walk away. But you was intoxicated, but that's still no excuse. And me blaming Hunter is not gonna, help the situation, because you should never rely on anybody to help you, but if they're your friend and they got your back and you're their brother or whatever, they should have your back. But so it did happen that way. And so then Hunter and, Nelson said that Derrick said something, and Derrick was like, no, I didn't say anything. So Derrick was like, roll the footage, mother suckers, roll the footage, put the footage on play. So they put the footage on play, and only thing Derrick said was, what you said, what are you talking about, who you talking to, or whatever. And Derrick said either them words like, who you talking to, what's going on, what? And then that's when Nelson said, you can get it too, anybody can get it, whatever. And so then I believe Derrick said, why are you mad for? And then Nelson got all up in his face, and you would think Hunter would bring him back. And you would think Hunter, when they started pushing each other, they would stop. You would think Nelson would stop, but we all know when Nelson drinks, he goes ham. He's not the type of person that can hold his liquor at all. So anyways, that situation's over. Nelson apologized to Derrick and gave Derrick props to why he's a vet, because he didn't react, he didn't hit him, he didn't get mad, he didn't do anything. So that's why, like, when this first did happen, I felt like Derrick possibly was in cahoots with the other guys, in cahoots with Hunter to, to rile up Nelson. Hunter went in there to rile up Nelson, and conveniently Derrick was standing there with the witch Carmilla, and then Derrick says, who you talking to, what's going on, or something like that. And then Nelson goes out there and confronts Derrick. You know what I'm saying? And when Hunter said that, I know how Nelson gets when he drinks, is like people could easily read him and easily get him out of there. And Nelson did say like this was his best season because he won 2 challenges. He came back from an elimination. He was doing good or whatever. And he thought that he could have really went to the end. If Hunter got that far, I believe Nelson could have got farther, in my opinion. I don't know if Nelson's good at puzzles, but I'm not sure, whatever. So it is what it is with that situation. I was just like, oh. So it just brought back me being upset. And then we have Jordan. They asked Jordan what was his method with the double cross, and Jordan let us know every time that he would go up to the double cross, it was a bug on the double cross, and that's the one he would pick. So he really didn't have a method but the bug, and no one had a method with picking the double cross. Jenna, she was just like, yo, I just picked number 3 because 3 was my favorite number, and all this other stuff. And so then Hunter really thinks he's a good competitor, but he did do well with, he got far or whatever. So then we get to Simone and we get to Shane, and they're going back and forth, and basically they talk about their fight because they both got eliminated from the season, and they had an altercation with each other. And basically Simone was just saying that they was having a conversation, and then Shane walked off because basically he couldn't be heard. And so Simone said, why are you leaving, or whatever, and he came back. He got up on her face and like, what you say B word, and was all up in her face. And Shayna meant that he was aggressive, and so Simone tried to push him back get him out of her face. She reached her hand out, and I guess her nail scratched his face, or he felt like it scratched his face. And I didn't see any scratches on his face. And plus, he was probably intoxicated because, Tony has a little drinking problem. It looks like he has a problem too as well. But it looks like Shane has a problem with meth. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but it looks like he does meth or he does cocaine. He don't look too healthy, and he just looked like he be on something, that he was on something, that he drastically changed, like a gore look in the face, like a meth face or whatever. So basically, Simone was just saying that, he got upset with her and he was mad, he was in her face, and then he grabbed her after she like mushed him. He had grabbed her or whatever. Then that's when he grabbed her in an aggressive way, and he was on her. So that's when Devin came. Devon is a nice name. Devin came and put his arm around, Devin's neck. Devin put his arm around Sean's neck to try to put him in a sleeper to get him off of Simone. So that means Simone was like being assaulted. She was being assaulted. And for Devin to, Devin don't really get into people's stuff. Only one time with one cast member, and that was like not last year, but the year before last. Devin's really not going to jeopardize himself, but he was the only male there. And if he has to jump in and do that, that means that it was a serious situation going on. It means that Shane was assaulting Simone. And and then on top of that, Shane bit Devin, and then they got off of each other. Then that's when Simone grabbed the bottle, broke it, and she was trying to defend herself because she was being attacked by a tall dude, a tall man. Like him going against her, she's short, she's thin or whatever, and him being that tall and him going up against her, who knows what other substance that he was on. So it's whatever. It's just sad that, Simone had to go home. I wish she didn't break that glass or whatever. And he attacked Simone, and then I think he punched her. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he attacked her. Then he attacked Devin because Devin was trying to get, Shane off of Simone, but Devin didn't get sent home because they probably realized that Devin was actually trying to save Simone's life, in my opinion. And so then, Shane was like, oh no, she was being bitchy. She was in my face, and she was this, she was that. And, she grabbed my face and she just reached down. She like clawed me and stuck her nails in my skin. I don't know, like, you're on a challenge. You can't take scratches. And basically he said that he was all up in her face aggressively. So she was probably mushing him out of her face to get out of her face. Maybe she should have ducked or whatever, but who knows if he would have just started swinging on her. We don't even know if he started swinging on her, but they're keeping it quiet or whatever, I guess. So then Simone, and so he says he's sorry. Simone says he's not sorry at all because, Shane's boyfriend is attacking her on Twitter via social media. So he's not sorry. And Shane didn't look like he was sorry at all. So that's when Amanda jumped in and was like, Shane, you attacked her. He was like, you were so aggressive. I think she called him, she said he was aggressive. He attacked her. He's lying. He's not sorry. And so that was it. So the situation wasn't resolved, and that's when Miz says I'm sorry, because I know Miz is just like, yo, you guys are getting crazy. I think Miz was involved in an altercation on the Real War, I believe. But so moving on from that, so it's not gonna get solved or whatever. So then we get Derrick and Tori. Derrick and Tori sits down, and Tori opens up and just says that, she ended up after Derrick left. I think his name is Derrick H. After Derrick H left, basically, she kind of like moved on, and she was open to new ideas, new things. She really let him go, whatever. She really wasn't feeling him. And I knew that was going to happen. And just the way, like I said it in my previous videos about Derrick H, he's just the type of guy to make promise to you, could never keep them. And, so Derrick was like, oh, so did you move on with somebody or something? And she was like, yeah, I ended up hooking up with one of my cast members. We had an attraction, but they swore that they didn't hook up on the season. They hooked up after the show was over. They hooked up in LA or whatever, and blase and the third, they did it. And they're not dating at all. They just had sex, and they're good friends. And Derrick, after they hooked up, Derrick on 4th of July went to go hook up with Tori. I guess they had sex or whatever. And supposedly at that time, text messages, screenshots of Tori's phone and all the information, conversation with her best friend, conversation with Derrick was sent to her, was sent to, Jordan, and was sent to, Derrick H. And basically Tori ended up getting an investigator to find out who did this, who did that or whatever. And come to conclusion, only person that was that close to her that was able to see her phone, because they're saying that the person actually had to be looking at her phone to do this because they didn't have her Apple, code or her Apple, serial number or whatever. So basically she said only other person is Derrick. Everybody's in the audience, the vets are laughing, and they're looking at it like, oh my God, please. And so Derrick said that he was getting anonymous text messages, screenshots via the internet, via his telephone, about what was going on with Tori and what was going on with Tori and Jordan. And so he says that she screwed him over, she cheated on him, and she didn't want to admit that she cheated on him, but she was like, we didn't see each other for like 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying, dude? We didn't see each other for 6 weeks. I didn't know who you was screwing. No, but she didn't say that. But she was, in her mind, she had 6 weeks without him. Even though she told him she loved him, she wanted to have a baby with him and all this other stuff. That totally went out the window when she got in the game. And so they asked Jordan what he think about the situation. Jordan apologized. He was like, my bad. We was totally wrong. We shouldn't have did it, but she's young. Things happen. It's very hard to run a final with somebody. And I guess they got close in the final because you see he picked Tori. But Tori didn't pull it off, man. So anyways, Jordan was like, it's all good. So it's all good. He apologized to Derrick or whatever. And then MTV got shady and brought in Tori's ex from Are You the One? People that she slept with, not actually dated, and had them talk about, one of the guys, he was like, Derrick, how could you? Morgan, she's no housewife at this time and point. And then Prospect or whatever, he said that, me and her are good friends, is all good, but why would you do it? Like, come on, Derrick H. So basically, they're trying to make Tori look like she gets around, and and so then Banana says that Tori is the new Cory. So anyways, that situation is smashed, is done. I believe Derrick H took the screenshots and stuff and sent it around. I think he did it. So I think that's how I found out that Tori and Jordan was hooking up, because whoever relayed the message to me must have read it online or something, whatever. And so then we get to Cory and Aneesa and Kayla, the Camillinator, the Loracious Lush. She didn't show up, maybe because she had a mental breakdown, or maybe she was acting up too much that she couldn't show up to the reunion, or maybe she does have a reason out there online. I'm surprised that Camilla wouldn't be there. Maybe she's gonna be there at part 2. Who knows? We'll see. So Kayla, she talks about her and Tori didn't hook up at the house. They're not going to hook up anymore. It's over. It's done. She was very disappointed to find out when she left last season, he hooked up with Carmilla and all that other, Carmilla or whatever. So she has a boyfriend now. She changed the number. She deleted Cory's number because she's afraid that, she could be tempted to step back in that lane with Cory. Then they get to, Aneesa and Cory acting like they didn't have nothing going on, that they wasn't kissing in the house, that they wasn't messing around, that they didn't mess around in the redemption house, even they went on that date. And it was like, it clearly looked like this guy was kissing. She was like, no, he was all up on my cheek. In my opinion, it looks like they was kissing. And also Aneesa was like, see, this is why we don't mess around no more, because you can't keep your mouth closed, really, because you tell it all. So then Aneesa was like, I mean, like, back in the past, not now. And Aneesa was like, no, I was not messing around with Cory this season because I was with somebody or whatever. So, but Aneesa done dated a lot of people on this show. I think Cory and Aneesa did kiss, and I think they hooked up in a redemption house. And she says that she would tell the truth. She ain't got nothing to worry about because, they filmed her having sex with Cory and whatever. But I don't think she wanted it to be out. Cory was like, yeah. And so the Miz was like, so what did you guys do that night? He was like, what night? What night? What night are you talking about? And then that's when Aneesa was like, see, this is why I don't mess with you. And so we'll see what happens. And so then Miz asks, Cory, who would you marry? Who would you have sex with, and who would you kill? He said he'll have sex with Kayla, he'll marry Aneesa, and he'll kill Camilla. So, that's what you get, racist Lush. And so I don't know if he would have said that if she was there, but I think he would have. So that situation was over. Cory ends up in the Hall of Fame of hookups. And then we get to, whoever wins, third place get $15,000. Whoever wins second place get $33,000. Whoever wins first place get $450,000. And Carmilla's not there, so TJ, he has to pick up the thing. So basically, they all line up and they have to pick up the double cross and see if you got a double cross, you're in the running for second and first place. And if you get the single X, that means that you are actually third place. And so sad to see that Tori and CT are in second place. Damn. So it goes to show you that Tori was good. She was the rookie of the year, but she wasn't able to beat out the vets. She wasn't able to beat the vets out. So now we have Jordan and Jordan and Derrick for 1 and 2. I'll say Jordan is number 1, Derrick is number 2, and I would say Cara, she is number 1, and Camilla is number 2, but most likely Camilla is number 1. But anyways, I don't want the racist lush to win, so that's why I won't say her name as number 1. And Cara, she kind of gets on my nerves, especially when Derrick H was asking her, hey, listen, was you trying to support Tori when she was, doing her thing with Jordan or something like that? And Cara goes, oh, well, when you left, she was free. She was like a free spirit. She wanted to do whatever she wanted to do. So get over it, buddy. But you wasn't saying that when you and Adam was having your situation. You wasn't like that. You was all in tears and shambles. You was nervous. You couldn't play the game and all this other stuff. And Adam was a complete nutcase about the situation, so don't go there. So anyways, please like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peace. I'm out until next week. We find out who is number 1. I'm going for Jordan number 1, Derrick number 2, Cara number 1, and Carmilla number 2. Peace. I'm out.